taking it minute by minute, becoming the hero I came to become. Knowing I do what I do and I do it, I ain't gonna stop till it's done.
Welcome to the impressive Tottenham Hotspur Stadium as we get ready to face them. Now, this team has arrived a little earlier on, as you can see here. They will no doubt have the very recent memory of that Derby Day victory in the back of their mind that could inspire the Reds to bring that energy into today's game. And victory today would bring us one step closer to silverware, and kickoff for our Carabao Cup quarter-final is underway in under an hour's time. So yes, we are here looking forward to this huge tie today. Joining me, I have got Ben Thornley alongside me. How much are you looking forward to this one?
Very much so, mainly because this is a fantastic stadium, as you just pointed out. It's a really great place to play football. Somewhere where Tottenham have sort of struggled a little bit this season. A lot of the more impressive results have come on the road, so it's a really good chance after how full of a spring in the steps, I suppose, these players must have after that fantastic derby win at the weekend.
I mean, that spring in the step is just a light way of putting it.
Probably.
I think the delight is still on their faces, on the fans' faces. I mean, the aura that's going to be felt around the stadium tonight is going to be incredible for the Reds. Yeah,
I mean, any derby win is a really good win, but to do it the way that we did it and fully deserve it as well is really something else. So yeah, they'll be coming here, they'll be full of confidence, they'll realise that there's only two teams now that stand between them and a Wembley appearance, so we're at the business end, and it'll also send a statement that we're now starting to compete with the teams that are above us, and we can get some momentum running through this Christmas and busy January.
It's a very busy January. I mean, the last time we played Spurs in this competition was in the 2009-2010 season with a 2-0 win. It was at the quarter-final stage, taking us through, which Darren Gibson, he was the one that scored a brace there. I mean, some good luck charms for us.
Well, we've sort of seemed to enjoy this competition, haven't we, in recent seasons, and there's no reason why we can't do that. Erik Ten Hag came here and won a trophy in his first season, which was huge, and I'm sure Ruben Amorim wants to do exactly the same. We know that Tottenham are a very good side when they perform, but a little bit like us this season, they've been very inconsistent, and you don't know what you're going to get, which is why I'm really looking forward to the game.
I mean, and you have mentioned it there. I mean, we have won the Carabao Cup a couple of seasons ago, which was an incredible moment for us lifting that trophy. And with it being such a recent memory for us, these players will remember that.
Yeah, of course they will. They'll remember beating Manchester City in the FA Cup final, and then going back to the year before. Of course, they'll be really buoyant about taking part in this competition. You might get some people in the footballing fraternity saying that this is the least of the trophies that they want to win and go for. I can sort of understand that. There are more prestigious ones, but nonetheless, it is a trophy, and they want to win it.
I mean, chance for silverware, but also it could be that silverware that Ruben Amorim is after as well. We talk about the momentum that's building. This competition could mean a lot to him.
Well, yeah, and because it's the first competition that is out of the way, to get to the final, you have to start building a certain amount of momentum, and you want to make sure that carries from this competition into the next, and that is what he'll be aiming for.
Yeah, he will be. But yeah, looking forward to this one then. Well, now let's head to the guys in the studio.
Great stuff, Zara. And Ben, thanks very much. Yes, welcome to the studio. It's a festive studio today. We're bringing the Christmas cheer after that Derby Day victory. And with us, Wes Brown and Phil Bardsley, our former defenders. Welcome to you both. Bardo, what a week it's been for United fans everywhere after that brilliant result against City.
Oh, wonderful, Sully. Only just recovered myself. Obviously, what a game of football. And most importantly, what a win. Obviously, Ahmad, again, we spoke a lot about him this season. Pops up with another wonderful goal and in a derby game, and whatever he goes on to do in his career, I'm sure he'll going to be successful at Manchester United, but he will always be remembered for scoring a win against Man City.
And Wes, we covered the game here together. It was a fantastic game, wasn't it? A brilliant second half performance in particular, but we must say it is just one game, and we need to follow that up with a big performance at Spurs tonight.
Yeah, definitely, but there was a lot of improvements. You could see the players were playing how the manager wanted them to play. Regardless of what happened in the game, even when we went behind, we kept on playing that, the confidence come, and from that, we got the goals. And you just hope in today's game that sort of continues, and that the focus is still on how the manager wants to play, and hopefully we do it even better tonight.
Yeah, it's a tough game though, isn't it, against a team who had a big win themselves at the weekend. We'll chat more about Spurs later, but generally, when you were travelling to Spurs, I know it's a new stadium now, but what were games like when you went to Tottenham?
Yeah, they were tough. They were always tough. They had, obviously, over the years, they've had some excellent players, excellent wingers as well as fullbacks. It's always difficult trying to stop their better players. But I think over the course of the last 3 or 4 years, they've had a lot of transition in the club. They've had a lot of different managers. And I think, obviously, Ange gone in there now. I know he's had a lot of criticism about the way they play and stuff, but I think they're a decent side. They've got some decent players in the squad. But I think obviously their home form this season has been a bit stumbling for them. I think on the road, as Ben touched on there, they've been a little bit better. So hopefully tonight that'll play into our hands. Yeah,
we'll look at the Spurs side in a moment, but let's see our starting lineup, shall we? There have been a few changes actually to it, including in goal, where Altay Bayındır replaces Onana. Matty de Ligt, we understand, is out of the squad due to illness. In comes Lindelof. There's a start for Lenny Yoro as well, with Martinez making up the other of the back three. Christian Eriksen comes in for a start in midfield alongside Ugarte, who had probably his best game for United against City at the weekend. Dalot is on one side, left wing back. Mazraoui has recovered from a bit of a knock to start on the right. And Anthony comes in alongside Bruno behind Højlund. So your thoughts on the lineup, Wes?
Yeah, first of all, the keeper change. It's good to see him get in, to see how he performs in sort of the level the manager does. It's good to see Yoro and back in from the starting lineup. Lindelof as well. I know he came on a little bit later on in the City game. Eriksen not played for a while, and then you'd probably say Anthony as well. When he came on against City, he looked sharp. He took the ball, got a few players, and he's sort of playing a different role tonight.
Big chance for him to shine, isn't it? It's a big cup quarter final. Anthony playing just behind the striker. It's a great opportunity.
Yeah, playing a little bit more in field and probably getting in that little pocket, as obviously players like to get on the ball, come to feet. Hopefully he can make an impact on the game, like Wes said there. I thought he was decent when he come on the other night, but it's important for the manager as well as the players that it's an important time of the season. You're gonna get injuries, so it's important that the players who have not had many minutes are up to speed if they're called upon throughout this winter period, because the games are coming thick and fast, and it's important that you're up to speed, especially when we're starting to get some good momentum.
Yeah, sure is. 5 changes then to United. Strong bench, which includes Sunday's match winner Ahmad. And Garnacho's back as well. He is on the bench. Let's look at Spurs then. A Spurs team which has its fair share of injury problems right now. There's no Vicario in goal at the moment. Forster continues. Dragusin is partnered by the young former Leeds lad Archie Gray. So a big opportunity for him to show what he can do. Very talented young player. Spence on the right. Porro has to switch over to the left. That defence has been decimated by injuries, so you can see it's much change. Basuma and Sarr, the two midfielders. And this is where Spurs are strong. This is their strong point, isn't it? Kulusevski, Maddison and Son behind Solanke. That, Bardo, is a really potent front four.
Yeah, certainly are. They've obviously, Maddison's obviously been out of the team. Son's form's been a little bit hit and miss over the last 6 months, but obviously we know his capabilities. Obviously I think Solanke's been a decent signing for him, to be fair. He knows where the back of the net is, and he's always a threat. But if I'm looking at that as a player or as a fan, I'm thinking that back four obviously not played many minutes. Obviously Spence and Gray at centre half, young, inexperienced, playing in a quarter final of a cup competition. So I think they're areas where obviously we need to try and impact.
Yeah, get at them, that is for sure. It will be targeted, definitely. A quick word on Marcus Rashford, who isn't in the squad. That's been well documented, and so too has the fallout from him missing the game at the weekend. But our head coach, Ruben Amorim, has said, he wants Marcus to be the best version of himself and come back and help this team. So it's very much door open for Marcus.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you've seen obviously the post he did as well after the City game, congratulating the lads. And you know, at the moment he just, you know, he must feel a little bit down personally. And it's all about trying to get Marcus back up to speed. You know, like you said, the manager said he's more than welcome to get back in the fold. But at the moment, you know, Marcus is, you know, just reflecting on everything, and then we'll see where we go from there. But I'm pretty sure you will see Marcus in a Man United shirt again.
And if you were facing this challenge, what's the best reaction as a player you can give?
Well, we all go through challenges in our career, Sully, whether it's obviously injuries, issues off the pitch, obviously form. I always felt as a player getting back to basics. Obviously, if it's form and you're obviously struggling, I think do the simple things well. Whether it's obviously running at someone, passing to your teammate, doing the simple things well builds confidence back up. He looked like, obviously, when the manager first come in, he was full of confidence, and then obviously found himself out of the team again. But yeah, it's really disappointing because obviously we all know in here how much potential he's got. Obviously, people keep talking his age now. He's not young anymore. He's 27. It's true, but he's still a player in there, and it's finding that player again to get him back to his best and scoring goals for Man United. Because, listen, he's certainly somebody that obviously we can still build a team around, and he can be important for the squad.
Yeah, sure can. We might get more on that a little later from our head coach Ruben Amorim when Zara catches up with him. But for now, let's get back to Tottenham and get more from Ben, who's with Zara.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, so we've been talking about the team news here. Lots of rotation.
Yeah, very much so, and surprisingly so. I wasn't expecting him to make that many changes, but obviously he's wanted to have a look at other people, and he feels as though this is the best way for him to do it. So, yeah, with it being this late on in the competition, I thought it would have stayed very similar to what we saw on Sunday, but obviously the manager's got other ideas.
There's some great opportunities there, aren't there, for some of these players to really show what they're made of?
Yeah, the likes of Christian Eriksen coming in, Lenny Yoro starting as well. It's Anthony as well, who's come back in, who's looked, you know, quite sharp when he's come on in recent games. And the manager feels as though this is the team that can cause Spurs problems, and Spurs are desperate for a trophy. So I think you can see it reflects in their team selection by Ange Postecoglou that they really do want to win a piece of silverware, and that team suggests so.
Great news for Manchester United fans as well that Mazraoui is starting, which shows that the knock obviously isn't something that's too serious.
No, and we're glad about that. He's been a fantastic signing. Pretty much every game that I can remember watching him, he's been standout. He's been a superb signing, and we're glad to have him in the starting 11 this evening.
I mean, it's great to see players settle in, especially, you know, when they're going to be at a stadium like this as well. There'll be some big atmosphere here, won't there? Yeah. But it's a great place to play football. These are the arenas that you want to be playing your football in, no matter what competition it is. And this is up there with the best of them. And they just have to embrace it. I'm sure that these lads have been around long enough now not to let it bother them. And these, like I said, these are the places you want to play in. And we'll be a bit toasty, won't we, in our new training wear jackets, won't we? Yeah. Do a little bit, stay another day, but you know, it's all right then. But yeah, we'll be all right here. But plenty of team news there to bite through, and especially Altay Bayinde in there, a great opportunity there. We always speak about the goalkeepers union, how mentally strong you have to be to really be ready at any single moment. Yeah, of course you do. And that's one of the positions where I'm always surprised when a manager, especially this deep into a competition, when he changes things. But Altay Bayinde has been in the goal before. He's an international standard goalkeeper. Absolutely no issue with him coming into the sticks whatsoever. And as well as that, plenty of support from that goalkeepers union, as we said, as we have Onana on the bench there. I mean, there's great camaraderie between them, isn't there, in training that we see so much throughout the season? Yeah, they have a wonderful bond, don't they, goalkeepers? And I saw it in my time. They go off, they train by themselves, but they train hard, and the training is very difficult, I can assure you. But they're all pushing each other on all the time, and I think that is imperative when it comes to situations like this, where your number 2 steps in and he's then your number 1 for the night. I mean, especially with the players, with how excited they were after that derby, and there is elation in that squad, and we've been hearing from some of them after it.
We're speaking a day after one of the best moments so far this season. What was it like for you?
Yeah, obviously the 3 points, most important, and then also away against the rival Manchester City is obviously a really nice feeling the day after, and a really important win for us.
As fans, there's lots of amazing moments, and that final 2 minutes was incredible. But for you, what's the thing that really sticks out the moment? Is it full time? Is it the second goal? Is it back in the dressing room, or when you see your family maybe?
Yeah, I think the second goal was like a really a moment with a lot of emotions on the pitch, outside the pitch. I was on the bench the last 10 minutes, so I felt it from the bench, you know, and you felt like this spirit in the group, on the pitch, outside the pitch, but everybody was really involved, and everybody felt like this was such an important moment and victory in this moment. So yeah, it was a really nice feeling. So especially after the second goal, it was really nice.
Is it harder when you're on the bench for those final minutes? Are you more nervous because you can't control anything anymore?
No, I'm quite relaxed. Obviously, I'm not nervous, but I'm like want that the guys were doing well, doing it good, and yeah, in the end they did really amazing, really well. So I'm really happy for that.
And the dressing room after, what's the mood like?
Yeah, it was really good. It was really good mood, especially because the win, obviously, the 3 points. The last 2 minutes, obviously 2 goals, also really exciting. But I think we immediately realized that, of course, it was a good win, important win, but we have to look forward because there are a lot of important games coming up, and I think we're not in a place to relax too much, especially in the table where we are right now. But obviously, really happy at the moment, but also looking forward to the next games.
Yeah, obviously really important for us as a team, for the club, also for the fans especially, that they've been sticking with us all the way through. And it's important for us to realize that this is the way that we want to go. And obviously as a team, it was a really good team win, fighting until the end for the result. I think it's important and shows really some character.
And we saw the way you celebrated with the away end. Did you know anyone in the away end? Some of the players were pointing people out, weren't they? It must have been a great away end to be in for this.
Yeah, obviously I had my family there. They always try to be close to me to watch the games. So it was really also even more special to have them there. I think they had a really good experience being in the away fans. Obviously after conceding the goal, the way that City fans celebrated so close to them, and then they had the opportunity to also celebrate 2 goals. I think it was special for them as well, and obviously an important win from us.
Yeah, it's very important day for us because it was a derby. We have to win, and we need to show for everyone Manchester is a red. Then we was play good. We did everything. We was give everything to pitch, and everyone fight together. We talk each other always before the game. Also, the manager talk with us how is important this game for us, and for everyone was we make happy for everyone, all fans. And then I heard every second, every minute they was support us, and we was fight together, and then. Yeah, I can say just it was a special day for us, but we won just 1 game. We have to continue. Yeah, it was a derby, but we have a lot of game, and we need to go up. We need to fight always together to make everything good for this great team.
Yeah, great to hear from the lads there. Good timing on that for Altai as well, given that he starts tonight. Just want to take this opportunity to say hello to all of our viewers on YouTube while watching the show. You can get your comments in the section below. So yeah, welcome along. Thanks for joining us. Interesting to hear what you were saying there while listening to Matty de Ligt. Unfortunately unavailable tonight due to illness, but he has really come of age of late and shown why we paid the money for him. Yeah,
I think as the games have gone on, he's got better and better. Personally, I think his defending's excellent. You know, he's like a bit of an old school defender as well, but he's managed to take on what the manager wants him to do with the ball, and he's been very confident with it as well. So it's nice to see him in the swing of things, and You know, there's a lot of pressure on players, especially probably him when he, you know, first gets bought with the clubs, the previous clubs he's been at. But he's settled in really well.
Yeah, he really has, and he was excellent against City at the weekend and helping stop the threat of Erling Haaland, which he and Harry Maguire in particular were great at, because we know how good he is. It's a great opportunity just to look back on the game. The first goal, Bardo, a deflection on De Bruyne's cross, and there's Gvardiol to head it in. It was unfortunate for us.
Yeah, it was really unfortunate with the way obviously the ball moved there. You know, you couldn't be too critical of the defending. Obviously, the impact of the deflection just obviously took the ball away from him. But it is what it is. Things like that happen. But what you want to see from a good and improving side is a reaction, and we certainly got that.
Yeah, we did. Onana did well there, just the tip Foden shot wide. Probably was going wide anyway. The second half, we did come alive a little bit, Wes. It was quite an even game, actually, but I just feel in that second half, we started to get more on top and got our justice. Mazraoui does brilliantly there to help set up the attack. And this should have been a goal by Bruno. He just chips it wide.
Yeah, listen, I thought we created the better chances, if I'm being honest. And like you said, with the actual gameplay, and obviously this is the first penalty leading to the goal. I think we matched him pretty much very well. I mean, I can't remember the last time we've actually been to City and outplayed them. I know we've won, but I'm talking about possession of the ball, very confident, passing through the lines. We probably did it better than them, with more confident. And then, as we all know, going into the last few minutes, when you score, the adrenaline's with you. And I mean, that ball from Martinez and Ahmed, what do you say?
Class.
That run is
absolutely
the run.
Brilliant.
He's come from right across from the other side, and that obviously, if he's probably playing a little bit wider there, he probably doesn't make that run because it's unrealistic. But because he's playing obviously inside a little bit more of where he was there, what a run! Timing of the run and having determination to get on the end of it. But just touching on a few things there, what he said, you can obviously we nicked the ball in some great areas there, and the pressing and the distances now. Obviously, the work that's gone onto the training ground, you can see, because they're all on the front foot, they're all willing to press, do the hard yards as we call them, and they're winning the ball back in good areas and causing teams problems.
And the defenders as well. You know, anywhere Haaland went, whether it was De Bruyne, they were tight on everyone. You know, they didn't give him any space, and the attacking players, I tell you, they don't like that. You know, they've got to try and look where you are before they can think of anything else. So
good to see the players celebrating with the fans then at the end as well. That victory was definitely for the fans. Speaking of fans, Ben Thornley is of course one. Let's get back to Spurs and hear from him and Zara.
Thanks, guys. Now let's talk about our attacking lineup tonight and what it could hold for us against Spurs. Obviously, we've seen that Spurs have got quite a strong lineup out, but we have got the attacking threat in players such as Rasmus Højlund. How impressed have you been with how he's obviously been building that momentum up over the past couple of games?
Yeah, he's been. He works extremely hard, and obviously as a centre forward, you want to add goals to your game. He does get into the right positions. It's only a matter of time before he starts connecting on a regular basis. But then, as well, that all depends on the service and the level of service that he gets. But certainly his work rate, the way he's starting to really use his body to hold the ball up and bring other players in, I've been impressed with him this season, I have to say, yeah.
If that creativity is flowing tonight, it could be beginning to look a lot like Rasmus, couldn't it, with those goals?
How many of these are we going to get through?
We'll have to give it a go, won't we? But it would be amazing. Obviously, those goals in here tonight, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he wants to score in every game, and that'll be his mindset, to go out and score in every game. But as long as he's helping the team in other areas as well, then he's got every chance of succeeding. Like I said, good body strength, holding the ball up well, bringing other players in, getting into the right positions. It's only a matter of time before he gets on that sort of run, that similar run that he had not that long ago when he was, on the back of sort of 6-7 goals before he got his injury. So that's the Rasmus that he wants to be and the one that everybody else wants to see.
And then you spoke about, obviously, the service that he needs. He'll have players like Anthony. I mean, Anthony come on in that Pilsen game that we were at and obviously shown how well he can link up with Rasmus, and obviously the talent of Bruno Fernandes as well. The goal involvements he's had so far this season has been incredible.
Yeah, I mean, judging by looking at the makeup of the team, I think Anthony's probably going to have a narrower role as one of the front three this evening, with Bruno behind Rasmus. But the creativity in this system does invariably come from the flanks, and it's important that if we are going to score goals and we are going to get bodies in the box, then we're able to advance forward quickly and be able to get balls into the box from wide areas. And tonight, I'm guessing actually on who the wide players are going to be, but in my own mind, I think it will be Nus Mazraoui and Diogo Dalot, and they're the ones whose responsibility is to try and get us up the pitch and to get balls into the box for those three to go and attack.
We spoke about the versatility that is needed with the forward play that we've been showing under Ruben Amorim's style now, and it was quite aggressive, the style we've seen in the second half of that Pilsen game. Do you think we could see more of that tonight?
I think as time goes on under this manager, I think that's what we are going to see. We saw it, as you said, in Pilsen. We certainly saw it in the second half of the Manchester derby. There was only one team that was ever going to win that game in the second half. Not saying it was going to be as dramatic as it turned out, but they certainly deserved it the way they performed in the second half.
And obviously, as we said, Spurs have got quite a strong team tonight. How do you see a player like Rasmus Højlund playing against them? You know, we know that Rasmus's hold-up play is terrific, the way he's able to show off his physical side, and do you think that attribute is needed tonight?
Well, I think so, and he's certainly going to be pivotal for us, because their two main centre-backs in Romero and Mickey van der Ven are both out injured, and Archie Gray's come in, very, very good player, but not used to playing as a centre-back, and he's obviously a young boy, relatively inexperienced, so I think that Rasmus needs to concentrate on making sure that he can pin him. That's where I feel as though he will be most effective.
Well, looking forward to seeing how they play later on today. But now take a look. It was a little surprise to a young Red Devil.
This year we wanted to do something special for someone deserving. My name's Joe Keeble. I'm a high school partnership officer for the Manchester United Foundation. We work really closely with schools and communities to help young people better themselves. As part of the club's Dream Big Christmas campaign, we wanted to give back to someone who's really stood out this year. James is an amazing student. He's such a nice young lad, and he always looks after everyone. He kind of acts like a big brother a little bit to the team, even though he's probably quite a shy and quiet lad and keeps to himself. If anyone needed him or anyone needed anything, he would be the first one to step up. There's no other kid that probably deserves something like this as much as he does.
Just before we start, we've got a very special message to play. James, can you just come forwards, please, mate? All right, when you're ready, press play, mate, go on.
Hi, James. Just want to say how amazing you've been lately. You've been smashing it on and off the pitch, and I love your big dream picture of wanting to be a coach, and big credit to your family because they've been really pushing you lately. So with that in mind, I've got a very special someone who would like to say some words.
James, we heard a lot about you. We would love you to join us at Old Trafford, and I also got a small gift for you.
For you, James. Yeah, well done, mate. All right. So, James, you're going to get some tickets for the game this weekend. Yeah, lads, you're buzzing for him?
I'm 100% a United fan. My favourite player's Garnacho, and hearing that from him was just wonderful. In the future, I'd like to be a football coach or a footballer. Well, honestly, I thought it was because as a team, we were really good, achieving a lot of stuff. But honestly, when I found out it was only because of me, I just felt a bit special.
Okay, we're just going to head this way. Just because I want to show you something, James, really quickly. All right? If you could you please read that big board there?
Merry Christmas, James and family. From Alejandro and everyone at Manchester United.
So that's for you, mate, okay? So we've got Alejandro to get a nice big board for you to say Merry Christmas to you and your family. So we brought you here today. Obviously, you're going to get to watch the game, but we've also got a little other surprise for you as well. You're going to get to be a mascot today. I mean, you're going to get to meet all the players in the tunnel, and then you will walk out onto the pitch with someone. All right? Yeah, is that good? Yeah, you excited? Yeah, good. Nice. Do you like that one?
Yeah.
Go. Like you're signing.
Welcome. How are you? You good? So, all good today?
All good. So this is James.
James, how are you?
James is our mascot today.
Mascot today? I played here a long time ago. Played with Mr. Beckham. Have you ever David Beckham?
Yeah. It was really lovely that his brother and sister got to stand there as well. That's a memory they'll share as a family forever.
It's amazing because he's a very professional footballer and just having that chance to walk out with him was very special. When I walked out with the team, I felt very united with them.
James having the opportunity to get this has been unreal. It's been amazing and I'm so glad that it was him. He's got such a drive, such a nice personality and he's going to become such a good young adult that I'm so glad that he can take this experience and really use it to push himself forwards and develop himself and keep dreaming of whatever he wants to do and keep knowing that no matter how hard he works and no matter how much he dreams, that there is an opportunity and a possibility for him to get where he wants to get to in life.
Yeah, really nice VT, that. Lovely to see James having the best time ever at United. Shame the lads couldn't have beaten Forest though, just to put the cherry on the top of the icing on top of the cake. But it's a lovely thing to do. The foundation and Street Reds and football in the community, they do such good work all around Greater Manchester.
Yeah, it's incredible. Obviously we had the opportunity to play a game against Celtic for the foundation, and obviously we know how much work goes in the different communities around the area, and seeing that video there, that's special. Obviously a young boy coming to the game and meeting his idols, that's what it's all about, and that's what separates this club from the rest.
Yeah, long may that continue, that's for sure. Back to the game though, and the challenge tonight is to find a way of beating Spurs. We know they're a good team, but then you get through to a semi-final, a two-legged semi-final, and a chance again to get to Wembley and contest for another trophy. It's a big carrot dangled in front of these players today.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity, especially with what's been going on with the new manager. It's a chance for us to get closer to another trophy. And for the manager, I'm pretty sure he will, want to win the game, but he'll want to sort of win the game in the way he would like it to be played. And that's the task at the moment. And I think the way we've been going about it is very good. The players have been very respondent to what the manager wants, and you can see that, in the game, playing in the games we've played recently.
And the challenge for this team is to win back-to-back games. You look through the results, and thankfully we're just beating Pilsen and then City, winning back-to-back games. But it hasn't happened
just
often
glad he wasn't
enough.
going to ask us then.
Yeah, it hasn't happened often enough when you look at the results that we put a string of wins together, which is the challenge now.
Yeah, I think we've spoke about on previous shows about the consistency that we've probably lacked over the last obviously 6 or 7 months or whatever it may be. Putting results together and performances back to back, like you say there, and I think now obviously coming off the back of the Pilsen, obviously a great win in the derby, and then now you're in obviously a quarter-final of a cup competition. You're in touching distance again from winning another trophy. So it's about maintaining them standards, like Wes said there. The manager has obviously identified the team that he likes, that he wants to play, the style he wants to play. It's about us implementing that now, week in, week out, game after game. It don't get any easier over the Christmas period. So obviously, like we see there, the team tonight's changed, freshen it up a little bit for these winter months.
Yeah, if we can win tonight, it'll be the first time we've won 3 on the spin all season, which is incredible for this team, really. OK, let's head back to Spurs. We can now hear from our head coach, Ruben Amorim.
So, Ruben, lots of rotation in this squad. Tell me your thoughts process behind it.
A lot of things. Mata was sick. the last day, so we kept Mata recovering. Harry Maguire did a great job, but it was like the 90 minutes for 3 months, so we have to be careful. Ahmad, it's really hard to leave a player like Ahmad out, but with all the information that we have, all the data, we have to protect the players in some games, and I choose this game to do it, and I trust in the other guys that we need fresh legs. This is a game against a team that has a lot of pace, so we have to have fresh legs to win this game.
We can see that Mazraoui is in the starting 11 too. He's obviously recovered from that knock really well.
Yes, because it was a knock, and we try to see on footage that was a knock, and a knock you can play is not nothing serious. He recovers, so it's really important for us.
And then you've said, obviously, in training, you want the standards to be high, and it's pushing these players. How important is it, especially when you see this lineup and so many players back into it now, players like Christian Eriksen? How proud are you seeing these players work hard and getting the rewards?
Yeah, that's it. They worked a lot. We need fresh legs. We need a player that can control the possession against this team. He knows the stadium, so he's prepared to cope with the demands of the game.
And finally, an opportunity for silverware in this competition. How much would it mean to you?
Everything is important in this club. We have to win every game. We have to fight for every game. We could do it or not, but our focus is always winning games.
Thank you very much and good luck.
Just as it should be, Ruben. Like you said there, they're very difficult to leave Ahmad out.
Yeah.
Because he's been so good, hasn't he? And won the game for us against City. He's become one of the first names on the team sheet in the Premier League.
Yeah, and I don't think it's just about sort of, obviously he's got a good few goals now and his runs, but Ahmad, he's so fit. He gets around the pitch. The game against Everton where he's up to defender is just as quick as he touches it. And I think that's what we love about Ahmad, the way he gives it his all, and that's not even talking about the skill that he has after it. It's the way he commits himself for the team.
And quite rightly, Ruben said he's rotating that team to protect them. They look at all the data, they work closely with the medical team to ensure that people don't pick up little niggles, little knocks, muscle injuries, which could keep them out for an extended spell when, like you said earlier, Bardo, it is a really busy time of the year.
Yeah, they see, obviously the analysts will see the load and the output, obviously the players putting in. And obviously, like I spoke about before, it's important players get minutes into their legs going into obviously the winter months, obviously the game every 2 or 3 days, which we played in them with really tough turnaround and short turnaround, so recovery is key. Obviously I'd imagine they've got the best of everything in the training ground, obviously the masseurs, the physios and all the recovery machines that they need now to get players right, but you can't, obviously injuries happen in football, and if someone was to dip out and somebody obviously wasn't up to speed, then it'd be disappointing. So I think it's a perfect opportunity for the managers to fresh things up, and like Ahmad, I'd imagine if it was probably a few rounds earlier on, I'd imagine he'd probably give him a rest at this time, but I say we're in touching distance of another trophy.
Interesting to see the lads doing their set piece routines again. This is something we saw quite early in the Ruben reign, where he was kind of almost working on his system, on the tactics, in full view of everybody before a game, because they've had so little time on the training ground since his arrival to really nail this.
Yeah, and that's right. Listen, we've had some disappointing goals against us, obviously, in the last few games, and it's something that it needs working on, and I don't mind this happening at all. I mean, a corner's a corner, but ultimately you want everybody doing the right stuff, and that's watching the ball and attacking it regardless. But the manager feels that we're not 100% on that one yet, because some of these goals, we could be stopping by just moving a little bit, or maybe not, watching the ball a little bit more rather than watching where the players are.
Yeah, our record of conceding goals on set pieces hasn't been great, has it, Bardo? So no. I'm glad again that they put a focus on it to try and prevent that.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Obviously, you're looking at your defenders, not just your defenders, your whole team in general. When you're defending corners, obviously it's so important. Not just the first contact, but a second contact as well. And obviously, like the keeper's come out and collected one there. It's important how we react to that. Obviously, the counter-attacking team, we want to try and get up the pitch as quick as we can, cause a problem from the opposition. But first and foremost, obviously, he's come in, he's addressed it, he's seen a couple of mistakes in there. So, it's important the boys take it on board, because set pieces in the modern day game are so important.
The Carabao Cup this season is as strong as it's ever been, I think, looking at the quality of teams still left in the competition. Obviously, whoever wins tonight's game, whether it's hopefully us or if it's Spurs, then you're going to face either Arsenal, who beat Palace 3-2, Newcastle, who were very good in beating Brentford by 3-1, and Liverpool, who won at Southampton 2-1 that scoreline. So where's this a real tough semi-final lineup so far?
Yeah, it is. But listen, when you get to that stage, it's going to be, the best teams are going to be in there. So I think obviously we need to get this game out of the way first. But if we did get into the semis, it's a great game. Whoever we get put up against, it's a really good, high-quality game, and that's what we want.
And do you prefer semi-finals over 2 legs? You were involved in it. We're not going to go
I'm
there.
always not going to talk about it then, Sully. Let's leave that one, we'll move on.
Yeah, it didn't happen. But yeah, 2-legged semi-finals, it offers a bit of a different experience, because it's the only time in domestic football we get to experience a 2-legged.
Is that when we won? Was I?
Sunderland, yeah.
Sunderland beat us in the semi-final in the League Cup.
Yeah, penalty shootout. But yeah, I like the 2-legged turnaround. Obviously, you sometimes get teams that are obviously like we at Sunderland. No one expected us to obviously get into the semi-final, and coming to here was difficult in the second leg. But it gives you a chance. So obviously it's really important. Obviously, if you get through tonight, you've got 2 legs to look forward to. And listen, there's some strong teams in there, but you'd fancy anyone at Old Trafford.
Sure would. Okay. Something a bit different now, and Northern Ireland defender Johnny Evans met up with Sam to talk about some retro shirts.
So Johnny, we're looking through some retro shirts today. Obviously you'll recognise some of these from some great United teams of the past. Do you want to just talk us through which your favourite is, just on first?
Oh, has to be that one there, the red one.
This one, let's take it off. So that's the 92 to 94 kit.
They're all very iconic, aren't they, I suppose?
Yeah. So do you remember this one when we won the league for the first time?
Well, I was young, but obviously like the footage from...
Yeah.
The Steve Bruce got the goals. Big Steve.
Sheffield Wednesday.
And was that was at Old Trafford, wasn't it?
Yeah,
right here down where he's headed it, and so that makes me think of that. And then obviously got up to lift the trophy and that.
Out to Bannister, and still they wait. Bruce, yes! Unbelievable!
How old would you have been during this season?
4.
So you don't have too much memory?
No, I think my earliest sort of memories, when I can think back, probably around '96 FA Cup final, Cantona.
Yeah.
That's sort of my first memory of watching the game, and so by that stage I'd have been about 8 years old.
Yeah.
But obviously all the footage going back, and Brian Robson, Paul Parker, Steve Bruce, Pallister all wearing that kit was so iconic. And obviously Cantona made it even more special.
Cantona would have been the first shirt.
Sharp, Cantona making ground in the middle, and he finds it! Yes! A magnificent equaliser by Manchester United! Eric Cantona!
Talking about Cantona, we've got this one.
Yeah, obviously the famous Kung Fu kick, he was wearing that, wasn't he? But when I think of that, actually, I think of Lee Sharp for some reason.
Yeah.
Don't know why, but Lee Sharp sort of comes into my mind.
I think this might have been one of the first black kits, I think. I don't think there was any black kits before that.
Yeah, lovely kit too. Yeah. And I suppose all of them have all got colours, haven't they, I suppose?
Yeah, it's very 90s fashion, isn't it?
It is, but lovely kit. And what season would that have been?
94, I think, this one.
94, yeah.
Did you have any of these kits when you were younger?
The first kit I had was the one that had like the red one with the collar. It had a little button on here.
Yeah.
and then it was sort of like the stadium was sort of like
Imprinted,
and
yeah.
like sort of in the background of the kit.
I think there would have been a few after this.
Just maybe a few years after that red one.
What player comes to mind?
Schmeichel straight away, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So iconic.
Yeah.
Treble season, and you know, he had such a presence about him as well. And then we see that kit and him flying out in Champions League final springs to mind.
His last game.
Celebration, his last game.
Beckham into Sheringham, and Solskjaer has won it!
And obviously he wore the long sleeves as well. Some keepers used to cut the sleeves, but Schmeichel always had the long sleeves. And
Bartos, short sleeves, wasn't he?
Short sleeve, wasn't he? But yeah, such an iconic kit. That's a beautiful, beautiful shirt too.
Yeah.
I love that one.
The old classic Sharp sponsor too.
Well, the Sharp, I mean, I suppose it's probably one of the most iconic, you could say probably iconic sort of sponsorships with sponsoring such a successful team at that period, and
really
obviously all the success that they had.
This one. This was treble season 2.
This was treble season. I think of Ryan Giggs, Beckham, Roy Keane. Most notably, probably the game at Villa Park when beat Arsenal in the semi-final of the FA Cup. Yeah. That makes me think of that straight away. And obviously Giggs taking the shirt off above his head and legging it.
Hairy chest.
The hairy chest. Yeah. So yeah, I love that kit too.
Giggs. Great run here by Ryan Giggs. Oh, what a goal! Would you believe it? Ryan Giggs could have taken Manchester United to Wembley.
So Johnny, you've got your favourite kit on.
I can half see myself in the reflection.
Got the 92-94 home kit on.
A little bit less fitted than what they are nowadays, but you sort of fit. But yeah, I'd love to wear that, and obviously that'd be a strange thing. Now that I'm wearing it, running about, you'd have obviously they tied a lot of them back in the days, didn't it? But you'd have that sort of flicking about. But it'd be nice to have that again. Actually, you should bring that back.
Yeah.
And obviously the collar. I suppose we've never ever had a chance to put the collar up.
Did they ask you about the kits when they come out? Do they get your feedback on them? You know, the new season's kits?
Yeah, they always do. They always kind of ask, you know, what your opinion of them is. And like I say, we've had a little bit of a collar on the blue kit this year.
Yeah.
But it's not like a full collar that goes all the way around and not sturdy enough to sort of...
Not an old school one, no.
Not an old school one, but...
Maybe you could recommend that next year then?
No, I need to bring this back before I retire.
All right, nice one, Johnny. Thank you very much for that.
Great to hear from Johnny there. Now we are still taking in the atmosphere at this Tottenham Hotspur Stadium as we get ready for kick-off now. It is a sight, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a brilliant stadium. I think what they had to make sure that they did was with Arsenal building the Emirates, they had to make sure that they went that little stage further, and rightly so. You know, if you're going to have the most up-to-date stadium, then it needs to be the best, and this one pretty much is.
It would be amazing if Manchester United's regeneration of Old Trafford could be anything like this. We've heard it in some of the plans that, you know, that stadiums like this is the way that football should be now.
Yeah, I'm sure that that's exactly, you know, when it actually comes round to it, that is what they'll be looking for. Manchester United needs to be the biggest, needs to be the best, and they know that at the moment they're playing catch up a little bit with all the new stadia that have been thrown up, and this is the latest of them. So yeah, I'm sure it'll be even better than this.
But we have got obviously a big game tonight against Spurs, Carabao Cup quarter-final. We have got the team warming up behind us now as well. Now, there's been so many comments about the warm-up routines, haven't there? I mean, it kind of shows that Ruben isn't afraid to put his cards all on the table.
No. Listen, this is the way that he does things, and practicing set pieces and corners is something that he wants his players to go through, so that, you know, should anything happen in the first couple of minutes of a game, then they're fresh up and exactly knowing what it is that they're doing. So yeah, it's different, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's wrong.
It doesn't. I mean, hi to everyone on YouTube that is watching as well. Let us know what you think of the warm-up routine as well. It's good to hear from some of you in the comment section. Make sure you like and subscribe, and also let us know what you think about the new training wear that we're wearing, keeping us nice and toasty, and that's the main thing in this.
I like it.
Yeah, it is lovely, so make sure you check it out on the United store as well. You can access it on the Manchester United app too. But it's lovely to hear from you all, as well as plenty of people watching from all over the world, and we know the international fan base that Manchester United is all about, because we've got John Fisher, who is watching all the way from Uganda as well. I want to know the time differences that are going on there. There are some incredible dedicated Manchester United fans, aren't there?
You speak to people from America, you speak to people from sort of China, the Far East, Australia even. They will make sure that they set their body clocks on all their alarms to when Manchester United are playing. It's a huge fan base, and it will continue to do so.
It is a huge fan base, but yeah, make sure you get your score predictions, and I can see them coming in now as well. I mean, we have got fans from Indonesia, we've got the score predictions coming in, and people are saying 3-1 to Manchester United. That could be a massive prediction for us. I mean, and we can see the focus on these players' faces right now as well. Anthony looks quite focused there on the edge of the box. I mean, how important are these moments here? I mean, it is unusual, these set pieces that we see right now, but it's important that they get used to this. You know, this is like a training session almost.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is as well is that this is, in theory, and obviously the practice in here, but when it comes to the real thing, then it has to be done correctly. You know, there's no point in spending all this time in the build-up to the game and then fluffing your lines when you get into the actual match itself. And I'm pretty sure that is one of the reasons why Ruben Amorim does it. It's like repetition, to make sure that it's drummed into them, and also to make sure that the quality is there. The more you practice, the better it will become.
I mean, that's the main thing with it. I mean, we speak about how vital these moments are with these players and the coaching staff to really get into that routine. I mean, it is interesting, I've said the warm-up now, we can kind of get a little bit of an insight as to potentially how they might play when kickoff approaches. As you said, you are curious as to how we're going to look, aren't we?
Well, I'm not sure, I have to say. I've got my idea, but listen, these things, I'm not saying they're irrelevant, but what they have to do is they have to make sure that they start the game well. That is imperative, because Spurs like to be fast starters. They're playing pretty much their strongest 11 that they can muster, with the exception maybe of Brennan Johnson, who's on the bench. With all the injuries that they've got and the fact that they are really desperate to win a trophy, that'll reflect in the way that they come out and they start this game. So as long as Manchester United are on it from the start, they can work on things like moving the ball forward and then getting deliveries into the box from set pieces and corners. Practice makes perfect, but they have to make sure that they get into the areas of the field. First and foremost, they're going to have to stop Spurs from undoubtedly coming out the blocks quick.
I mean, especially with the fact that, as you said there, I mean, we're a bit unsure as potentially how we could look formation-wise, which players are in which position, you know, when kickoff approaches. Do you think that uncertainty in some ways will help us? Because Spurs will be wondering as well.
I think the formation is going to be no different from when Ruben Amorim arrived. It's just trying to decipher who is going in what position, because he has thrown a few surprises from time to time. But I've got it in my mind that I think I know the way that it's going to work, and he wants to see these players. You know, he wants a reaction from them. He wants a reaction from Lenny Yoro, from Anthony, who's starting, Victor Lindelof, who's come in as well. All very, very capable players that have not played a lot of football. He wants a reaction from them this evening, having been thrown in.
I mean, it shows, doesn't it? If Ruben Amorim likes, obviously, what he sees in training, he's rewarding them. You can see that from the lineup today.
Yeah, of course. That's exactly the way that it should be. That you train as you play. You know, you impress upon the manager that this is what I can do in training, and I can also transition that into matches. And this is what this manager has done since he's come in. He's rotated the team, and he inevitably wants to end up with what he thinks is his preferred 11, but he can't do that without seeing how they cope in atmospheres and stadia like this.
Yeah, well, keep your comments coming in on YouTube. We can see them now. There's so many on there. We have got plenty to look forward to for this game. Thanks for getting your comments in here. But now take a look at this as Dynamo attended our Mud to Lunch.
hold your hand out for me. Like this, come a little bit closer, so. And just say stop.
Stop.
Right there. I'm going to take the corner. I'm going to put the corner right there.
Hey.
So the Queen of Hearts, right? Queen of Hearts. You see the corner right there? In fact, let's move this. Gone. The corner vanishes. Wait, I've not touched you, right? Turn your hand over. Look underneath your watch.
No way!
That's impossible. Take one. Take one. Show each other and remember them. I put one there and this one in the middle, and I'll give them a shuffle. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Here we go. The first card. That's one.
Oh, is it?
That's you, right? That's you. So I'll put that right there, and then I'll do yours with one hand. If this was yours, would that be good? In fact, what if this was his card that's on the table?
Oh, no way. No way.
Take a look.
Oh, no way. Oh, man.
What I want you to do is get the name of somebody in mind who's inspirational to you, like in football.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to try to create a connection with you. So hold your hand up like this. Focus on the index finger, and you should start to feel like a pulsing sensation, like a little heartbeat. Let me know when you can feel that. It'll be very faint, but you should start to feel it coming now. Yeah, okay, and if I snap it, it jumps to the middle finger, and now that connection's there. If I move sideways, it's almost like rubbing against a mirror. Feels weird, right?
Yeah.
So if there was a mirror between us, when my index finger starts to bend, look what yours wants to do, and if it wants to go, they'll fight. So let's create distance between us now, because now we're connected. If my finger goes forward, yours is going to want to follow. In fact, these fingers are going to want to go. It's like we're in sync right now. And your hand's going to get tighter, and let it close all the way. And imagine holding on to the name of this person.
Yeah.
When you feel comfortable, don't say the name out loud, but just let it go towards me. Lewis Nani. He's gone. He's out. I want you to imagine we're in a corner shop and we're buying one thing. What would we buy?
Bottle of water.
Bottle of water?
Yes.
Okay. Do me a favour, put your hands together like this, because I've got a prediction in my shoe. Look. You could have said anything. But you know what? You know when you're on the pitch and your lace comes undone? It must be the most annoying thing, right? Yeah. So I think I've got a solution, because you can see my lace is undone, right? But that's how you do it.
I mean, we're stunned by watching that. It's absolutely class. There's nothing like seeing Magic up close, and thanks to Stephen Frayne for appearing at the Mudsa Christmas dinner. It looks like the lads, well, they had a fantastic time going there, and I think they were blown away by the Magic up close.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the lads go every year, but having Dynamite there is... Dynamo, sorry.
He was Dynamite.
He was Dynamite. Having Dynamo, mate, unbelievable.
Yeah.
And like I said, it is for the fans of Mudsa, and like I said, just before Christmas, we used to go every year, we still do. But to have him there, it's fantastic. I mean, we were just watching that amazed. I haven't got a clue how he did that.
Absolutely no clue, but they're a fantastically supported organisation, Mudsa, and a brilliant one too, aren't they?
No, it's so important this time of year as well for the players, obviously, to go and see the fans. They go hospital visits, and like we say there, they've been there as well. So it's important that they go and show the support to people, and you know, it looks like they had a good afternoon as well.
Yeah, it's been going on as long as I was a kid here, and I just think that's fantastic for obviously the club to always be involved in it.
Yeah. Let's get some final thoughts from the two of you. It's getting ever so close to kick-off right now, so we'll soon cross over to your commentators. Bardo, what are you predicting? How's the game going to go?
Hopefully, like we say, fast start. I think they'll come out the blocks. Obviously, they've not had any silverware for many moons, so I would imagine obviously they can taste a bit of silverware as well. But I can't see it. Hopefully, we'll build on obviously Sunday's performance and keep that momentum. Obviously, we've got some really good players, freshen the team up, and I'm going for a 2-1 win.
Where's what you're saying?
Yeah, first biggest sort of game where we could get knocked out. You know, a big occasion against a good team. I've actually gone 2-0 to us.
Love that. Nice to see Sergio Reguilon there, catching up with his former teammates, who spent 6 months on loan, and Christian Eriksen catching up with some of the Spurs players who were there when he was. So that's what football does, isn't it? It always throws up these reunions. But the only thing that matters to us right now is that United get a victory against Heung-min Sung's Spurs. So come on, the Reds, taking you through this one. Let's hand over to your commentators. Maisie is with Liam Bradford.
Thanks very much, Solly. Yes, welcome along. Manchester United in action again. Different competition on this Thursday night, though, as they take on Spurs in the League Cup. A win here would take you through to the semi-finals. Draw for the semi-finals will be made after this game. Wasn't too long ago, was it, that Manchester United faced off against Spurs at Old Trafford? The less said about that afternoon, the better. I think an opportunity to put things right under new head coaching ship with Ruben Amorim at the helm for Manchester United. John Brooks picks up the ball from the Carabao Cup plinth and strides out into the centre of this magnificently impressive Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, alongside me for the second time in about 4 days, it feels like, David May. Look, Spurs, Manchester United have a rivalry that goes back a long time. It's now more even than maybe it's ever been between Manchester United and Spurs. Can Manchester United get a result down here tonight, and what do they need to do to make sure that they get the result?
Yeah, 100% they can get a result. I think if they show the same resilience and endeavour as they did in the Manchester derby, 100%, Liam, 100%. The manager's made changes. Probably a couple of surprises in there, particularly with Anthony coming in for Ahmad. Sorry, everyone was expecting Ahmad probably to start, but listen, it's an opportunity for Anthony to stake a claim. He's not really had that much football this season, so it's an opportunity. Another opportunity for your own centre-half, Victor as well, goalkeeper. So there's many changes, Christian Eriksen in there as well. So, listen, if we produce the same endeavour and same fight and same will to win as we did against City on Sunday, then I think we've got a great chance.
I think you're absolutely right. That Manchester United team then for you. Altay Bayındır comes in. First time he's played a game since that win over Leicester in the last round. Lisandro Martinez, Victor Lindelof and Lenny Yoro make up the back three for Manchester United. Diogo Dalot at left wing back, Nus Mazraoui at right wing back, Ugarte and Eriksen make up the midfield four. Bruno Fernandes reprises the role that he played once Mason Mount had left the field against Manchester City in one of the two pocket tens. Anthony on the other side and Rasmus Højlund, who leads the line for the Reds. In terms of Spurs, they've got a bit of a makeshift back five. Fraser Forster in goal because of the injury to Vicario. Archie Gray and Radu Dragusin are both in at the centre half. They because of the injuries to the rest of the centre halves. No Mickey van der Ven, no Sergio Romero, so those two in at centre back. Pedro Porro comes in at right back, Jed Spence at left back. Pape Matar, 4 goals this season, alongside Yves Bissouma in the centre of midfield. James Maddison plays in the 10, Kulusevski right, Heung-min Son left, and Dominic Solanke, with 7 goals this season, leads the line for them. I suppose the really interesting thing here for Manchester United is the return of Alejandro Garnacho. Yes. He's on the bench. The manager said You know, every week is a different selection. Every time they play a game, he has to take into account everything that he sees. Alejandro Garnacho has done enough now to be travelling with the squad.
Yeah, I mean, he said when it all came out about Rashford and Garnacho not playing at the weekend, you've got to show it in training. You've got to show it 100% in training, and if you don't do that, then you don't play, and it's as simple as that. Listen, we can read into whichever way we want to read into it. The manager's put a team out there to win this game. Whether Garnacho's playing, whether Rashford is playing, doesn't matter who's playing. That team out there is good enough to beat this team. They are susceptible at the back, as we know, but we've got to be careful going forward because, you know, you look at their forward line, they have got plenty of goals in there.
They certainly do their best to catch you on the break, Spurs, and they have been quick out of the traps. That game against Southampton at the weekend, a perfect example of that. They raced themselves into a 4-0 lead eventually, scoring 5 in that game, and of course they scored 4 away at Manchester City. It is Manchester United that get us started in the League Cup, and it's all the way back to Altay Bayındır, who first time sent it up and into midfield, where it's brought down by Jed Spence. Out to the left-hand side to find Son. Son comes back to Jed Spence, who's playing at left-back for